Hello again, and welcome to another one of my videos. And this particular one is one of a series that has been suggested by Spitfire, one of the viewers of my videos. And he suggested that I should be doing a whole list of Matchbox biplane kits, and he named them. And this is another one of them. It's the Hawker Fury. Um, Very nice box art. This is from the age of when Matchbox was owned or has taken over by Revel, right? So you have the black and the yellow and the orange and the red, and then you have this very nice box art. I think this is the original. They've just reproduced it again. Um, really nice box art, actually, to be honest. Captures the very clean lines of the Hawker Fury, and you can already begin to see what the Hawker Hurricane would look like, right? With the fuselage lines here and the tail and that very nice streamlined engine down here, the engine housing. Okay, but this is a biplane kit, and as I said, it's in the days of Revel owning Matchbox. So on the side, you see Hawker Fury 1. The kit is in two colors, a gray and slightly lilacish blue. And then this is what it looks like with all the parts assembled and with the decals applied, but with no paint. Okay. Over on this side, you see some wording here describing what you will get inside, right? And then it's in various languages. And then this is the back, which is classic Matchbox, right? Except that you don't have the window anymore. And this is marked as 1990 Matchbox. So sounds like as if it's a bit more modern, but in actual fact, I mean, this is a reboxing of a reboxing. So this is what? 35 years ago, 36 years ago. It's amazing. Still nice and bright, hasn't faded, right? The box, so it's pretty good. Two markings options. You have RAF number 43 Squadron A Flight Commander's Aircraft, overall silver dope. I think it's silver dope, and tail, and then the very nice checkerboard markings here and here, and then the big numbers, registration numbers of the aircraft. And then you have a Royal Yugoslavian Air Force option. Very unusual. I've never seen one like this before. But that's very nice, actually. It's a very nice option compared to that. But let's see what we have in the box itself. Bit of damage down here, but apart from that, the box is in pretty good shape. It looks bowed in, right? A little bit bowed in. And I think that's because it was wrapped in cellophane before, which probably explains why it's in such a good condition. Okay. The original seal is still here, but it's popped open on this side. So let's do that. No, I did not pop it open myself. Here we are. So if I'm so minded, I could actually just, see, I could just slice that off, glue that back on, and I have more or less a complete box. I think I'll do that. That sounds like an interesting little thing to do. That looks really sad, right? So I just slice that off and just glue back on. It's okay. So let's have a look at what you find inside. Okay, let's carefully slide this out. Okay. Check to see that there's nothing else inside the box. Okay, this looks good. Put that aside. Let's start with the instruction sheet. Okay. Well, okay, that just jumped out at me, so I might as well do that first. Good news and bad news. Good news is that the decals don't seem to have faded. They look quite good, actually, and look in very good condition, to be honest. No cracking or anything else. Obviously, the bad news is the RAF roundels. I mean, the red obviously has not been centered. That's not too bad. I mean, if I really am minded to, I could actually try and save these decals. What I'll do is that I'll cut out the little reds Okay, using a fine Swan Morton surgical blade, for example, and then make sure that I paint a white patch where the decal is going to be. Apply the blue, the main one, and then after that, try and put the little red ones back and make sure that it is centered this time. A bit of work, but it might be worth it. The other option, which is the Hungarian one, seems to be in good order. Strangely enough, no shift. The red all seems to be in its good location. That might be a viable alternative. Yeah, actually, it's interesting that the red here as well doesn't seem to have been moved out of position, right? They kind of like capture the 1938 very nicely. So I'm wondering about that. But okay, I mean, salvageable, I think. So I'm gonna have to put this into a nice Ziploc bag just to keep it safe. And then, well, that's a transparency. I'll just put this aside for the moment first. So let's go to the instruction sheet first. Okay. Typical, one sheet with the original. That's the original box art. So that's not the original box art. That's the original box art. That's what I remembered. I remembered that it was this, and they were like doing some kind of aerial display or something. I'm not sure what. Yeah, they were famous for their aerobatic displays at Hendon, performing intricate maneuvers tied together. That's what I remembered. It showed the aircraft, and they were explaining that the aircraft were tied together and they flew in such tight formation. Quite cool, I thought at the time. But I never got around to picking this up because it was an interwar aircraft. It wasn't fighting. So I did at the time, when I was a kid, what we wanted was a plane that was actually involved in some fighting, so we could zoom it around the house, right, and dogfight with each other. Well, that was the idea anyway. So the instruction sheet is here, and it opens up one sheet, but opens up into a three-fold, and slightly yellowed, but still very much clear and readable. Pilot's seat, the floor of the plane, the cockpit floor, and then the pilot himself. Fuselage halves glued together and trap assembly number 1. Then the propeller mounting. That's nice actually. That's a back plate. And then there's the mounting lug to secure it. Then you move on to step 3, which is the single piece tailplane, right? And then you have the rudder and all those struts to support it. And then you have step 5, which is 2 pieces. Now it shows you what it looks like after it's been assembled, but in actual fact you've got to glue them both together, right? There you go, 6/6. And then after that you fit this on top. This is classic, typical Matchbox for all the biplane kits that I've seen so far. And then once you've done that, and it's neatly and securely fastened, then you just mount this on top of the fuselage, which has already been glued together. And then you start with the process of mounting all the interwing struts, right? But because this has already been mounted here and it's secured, it will provide a good solid base for making sure that the wings have the correct stagger. And then note that the struts are actually splayed out a little bit, quite a bit actually. But again, because these are the struts are like that, right? And this is prototypical. You don't have to worry very much about getting the correct stagger because it's already been molded in, which is quite good. And then you have the final step, step 9, which is the assembly of the main wing, upper wing, sorry, and that little radiator housing down there, and the undercarriage, the wheels. And then there you have it. Straightforward. No fancy detailed items like the cylinders, because I think this is an inline engine, so you don't have all that. Good. And then you have detailed painting instructions at the back, just in case you want to paint parts of the model, but not all of it. But frankly, if you're going to do this, you might as well paint the whole thing. And it's not that difficult. It's all overall silver dope. So I think that should be fine. let's put that aside. Okay, and let's go into the parts themselves. Open it up just a little bit, and you will see first up is the transparency, which is very easily missed. And I think I was the one who put this inside here. And it's basically the windscreen. And it's a tiny little piece. I'm trying to open this up. There you go. There you are. Very easily missed, very easily dropped out of the box. And that's what it looks like. Okay. Quite nice, right? That's one pin, that's another pin. Okay. So good, at least I know that I have not lost it. I've kept it nicely. Now pop that in. Okay. Let me see. This sprue. Fuselage pieces. Again, very nice detail, and look at that. Look at that. See that again? If I'm not mistaken, that's the sewing for the fabric fuselage bits, I think. Or is, well, that's what it looks like. It could be rivets as well. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably rivets. You have fine fasteners down here. Can you see that? And then you have the fabric here. And there seems to be a metal frame of some kind here. Right, and then you have that nice streamlined cowling with the exhaust bits down there. That works for me. Okay. And then you have the top engine, on top of the engine, the cowling, the wheels, very nicely capturing the cone shape of the hubs. Let's have a look at that. Nice. And then struts. The interwing struts here are already molded into that angle, which is helpful. And then the cabin struts mountings here. Again, correct angles have all been molded in already, so it's just a question of assembling this thing. And that's the other fuselage half. A bit of a swirl here, but I don't think that matters very much. No. It looks quite good. Ooh. It might have a bit of a sink mark here, but I don't think it's... Well, we'll see how that looks like under a coat of primer and paint. Okay. Tail skid. Right. Good. That's that sprue. Let me just put it here. Okay. And then maybe I'll open it up just a bit more. Yeah, there we go. Let me see. This is the upper wing, and it's a couple of sharp little bits here. I don't think those are sprue bits or anything else. I think they're part of the strut. No, they're not part of the strut, but they stick out. So you have to be very, very careful. Don't shave them off. I'm trying to get them into focus so that you can see what I'm talking about. There, can you see it? On this side here. Can you see it? A little piece sticking up. And likewise for this side. There. That's a very nice piece of detail. I don't know what it is, but it's there. And it's obviously not a nub or anything. Oh, that's another way of looking at it, which is there. You can see the shadow cast by it. Okay, interesting detail. I'm quite sure some of you will be able to help us out with that, to tell us what exactly that is. And let's see. So this is the second sprue. There were only 2 sprues in the kit, and that upper wing was fitted here. Let me see. Propeller, and then the undercarriage. Those are the bits down here. That's the pilot figure, typical Matchbox. All of them seem to have that little wound in their tummy, right? Yeah. That's the radiator housing. which is reminiscent of and it's like a foreshadowing of the big radiator housing underneath the Hawker Hurricane, right? Yeah. Yeah, can you see that? Typical, right? Over there. Okay. Back to this, and then that's a single piece tail plane. Now let's have a look at that detail, the rib detail. This is the underside of the lower wing, I think. Yeah, because that's where the mounting points are for the struts. Nice detail. You can see some raised bits there. Some kind of plate, right? I suppose it's a reinforcement plate for the strut mounting. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. So everything seems to be here, and it is basically a very nice kit. 2 sprues. All the parts are here. Decal sheet, I suppose, needs work, but that's nice. I like, if you look at the Yugoslavian markings alone, right? They look quite nice. Yeah, the Yugoslavian aircraft does not have numbers or anything. It just has the tail. Interestingly, though, the tail says blue, white, and red, but this one shows a green. I am thinking that the green is probably correct, but I can go double confirm that. I'm actually quite keen on trying to see whether I can fix that. I suspect, though, that this is going to just fall apart on me. That trying to cut that red out. Well, nothing. Well, yeah, you can see it's cracking already, right? Well, we'll see what I can do. The rest of the decal sheet seems to be quite good, actually. If you can see the shine from the decal surface. Okay, good. So anyway, that is the Hawker Fury kit. Thank you to Windsor Spitfire for suggesting it, and thanks to my stash that I actually have this thing in the decal, well, in the kit dungeon. And because of his request, I made the effort to go and hunt for it, and I found it. And I think it's been a worthwhile little excursion into this. A bit of work on the decals, but apart from that, all the parts are here, complete kit. And it's nice. It is actually very nice, and I'm glad that we had this time to talk about this and for me to show this to you. Thank you so much for joining me again, and I will return with another video on probably another subject suggested by Windsor Spitfire or something else. If anyone of you has got a suggestion for any other kind of kit, whether it's Matchbox, Frog, Airfix, Revel, you name it, let me know, and I will find it and talk about it. So far I've been talking about planes, but I do have armor kits, quite a lot of them, and ships. So and one or two other odd things. So request away, and we'll see what we can come up with. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again. And in the meantime, stay safe, watch those blades, and find some joy in building your models. Or as one of my Japanese viewers said, build peace when you build one of these old nostalgic models. Okay, take care.